Okay, say hello, folks. It's 6 o'clock, and this session is now open. If you'll please rise. Ms. Hartman's going to give us the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all who are gathered here and virtually tonight, our citizens, our council, and our staff. Lord, we are so grateful to live in a land where all can openly express their views and opinions. Help us, Lord, to be people who respect diverse opinions. May we learn and grow, talk and listen to each other, showing kindness and respect for one another, and not just when it's easy. Help guide this council and staff into making the best choices and decisions for our community. We ask this in your Son's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas pledge. Honor
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much. As our usual announcement goes, I always like to, citizens that wish to address the council on any matter may sign up. Does anybody want to sign up yet? Anybody want to sign up?
He's getting.
Is your mic on? They're having a hard time hearing you,
This mic
Dennis.
won't do it. Mine's on.
The back of the room was saying they couldn't hear.
You're gonna have to move up front, sir, if you can't hear. I don't know what else to tell you.
We don't have the PA system hooked up yet because there was too much echo and feedback. So these are just for live stream for the time being, and we're in the process of working on the AV solution. So bear with us.
Hey, it's not church. You can move to the front row, you know.
Okay, still, I'm gonna go back with it. Citizens who wish to address the council on any matter may sign up to do so, and I have the sheet here. If you need to sign up, we got it. Public comments will be received during this portion of the meeting. Please limit all comments to 3 minutes. No discussion or decision will be acted upon by the city council. That's by state law. We have 4 people sign up, and we'll start with Becky. Would you want to start? Will you please state your name and address, please?
Becky Cooley, I live off Great West Loop. I just want to compliment y'all's officers and fire department for National Night Out this past Tuesday. They worked together to do this event this year. There's approximately 150 people, we think. Ladies Auxiliary, cops, and the Volunteer Fire Association brought goodies and different activities for kids to play with. All the officers and firefighters mingled very well, and there was a lot of good conversation that happened. So it was a very successful event.
It
Thank you, ma'am.
was. It was great.
Lynn, you want to follow up on that since you were a part of it?
Sure. Now, is this just for me to say stuff about cops, or is this when I get a version?
Okay.
No, I'm asking.
Whatever you want.
Whatever
This
you
is
want.
your public comment time.
Okay. And I want to thank Becky. You actually, she and Todd Hodge both asked me if I needed help taking stuff from unloading my truck, and that was way cool too. Everybody worked as a unit. It was very good, and we had so many people. We had so many kids enter our coloring contest my name's Lynn Milam, I'm president of the Morgan's Point Resort Cops. So, it was great. Thank you, Becky. It was great. I am here talking today about this weekend. We have the second annual Thomas Nipper Memorial Barbecue Cook-Off at Ansay Park. And we've got lots of activities planned. Last year, we were told that they wanted us to have more stuff for the actual community, because if you're not a cook team, you're not paying the money to be in there, so that doesn't do anything for the police organization. So this year we're selling breakfast tacos on Saturday morning, starting about 6:15, and you can come and donate that way. They are a $2 suggested donation with little tacos. Friday night we're going to have a band from 7 to 10, and bring your lawn chairs, come on out, enjoy the music. We're also going to be selling that time burgers, cheeseburgers, double cheeseburgers, whatever, we'll do it for you, with chips and the whole 9 yards. Suggested donation, $10 for that. And then, because it is against the law, or Texas Barbecue Association law, for the cook teams to sell, we didn't know that last year. This year we are making brisket, and we are going to have brisket plates with coleslaw, all the trimmings, brisket, and beans. And we're suggesting that a donation be $12 for that. And that's gonna start at 11:30 on Saturday. Last year, we had a lot of people coming by that lived around there, and they were saying, where can we buy food? We're like, no, but this year, we got you. We got you.
Good.
So come on out, bring your chairs, enjoy the band, have some brisket, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have about 25 silent auction items. We've got some high dollar stuff. I mean, some really great auction items. Start your Christmas shopping on the auctions. We've got a lot of really great stuff. And we're also, I got 3 handguns, and we're gonna have, last year we did a 52 card draw for I had a rifle and a handgun. This year I've got a Sig Sauer, a Springfield Hellcat, and a Glock. And so we're gonna do one drawing on Friday night. And if you don't know what the 52 card draw is, we take an actual deck of cards and we sell the cards for $20 a piece. Rip it in half, you get half, I get half, and then we actually, we're gonna put it in a old-fashioned turn wheel thingy and pick out the winner, and I'll have the guns there, but I have to take them back to the gun shop, give them back to them with a name and phone number of the people who win them, and then y'all can go and see if you can qualify to own a gun and all that good stuff. So that's the way that happens. You're not gonna get it right that night. But, so we're gonna have that. So come on out, we're gonna have something for everybody, even if you're not gonna be a cook team, something for everybody. That's the barbecue cook-off. And then, not the Saturday after that, but the Saturday after that, which is October the 29th, we are having, again with Fellowship Baptist Church, trunk or treat. And anybody can come out. The firefighters will be there, the police will be there, the church, NPR cops. We're gonna have, and then we have a contest for first place for who does the best trunk, and we let the police officers judge. And they get a $50 gift card and a little trophy. So come on out and join us for that. That'll be a great time. We had so many people last year and the year before, but it's a nice time. 6:30 to 9. Okay, now, can I wear my hat now, my regular hat?
What, you
As
want
a-
to give
as a
your report
citizen?
now?
No, that was my report, but as a citizen, do y'all think, I've had a lot of people asking me about how can we drive our golf carts? You know, I can't even ride mine to Ansay Park to be in the, have it for the cookout because I can't cross the 40-mile-per-hour road. So, I mean, do you think there's some way we could have little, I mean, I realize it's not gonna be by cook-off time, don't get me wrong, I'm not, but little, like crosswalks or something like that, to where people on this side of the road can get to the other side and vice versa, or something, some way that we could.
So you can cross, but it has to be at 90-degree angle.
You can cross where, I'm sorry?
At a 90-degree angle across the 40. Has to be at an intersection though.
Has to be at an intersection.
But you just can't drive along.
Okay, and then once I do that, say I live on this side, and I'm going that side, am I allowed to ride on the sidewalk? I mean, because that's their sidewalk all the way to, well, to a certain point.
I think it's a city ordinance or, for traffic code against it, so yeah.
Okay, well, I was just wondering if there was some way to get, how did, she can get to the other side of the road without blue lights, or red lights.
Best one to get with, get a map, and he can show you if there's areas that you can cross, which you can. And maybe we can get you to the other side of the road, going back through the neighborhoods.
Thank you, Lynn, appreciate it very much. Pam, are you available? You'll tell us about your artistic arts and crafts and skills?
I'm Pam Robinson with Mary Ruth Briggs Library, and I want to invite you to our 4th annual art show, which will be held November the 12th. It's a Saturday evening from 6 to 9 p.m. We will have it right in here, and we're going to have 2 vineyards that have signed up with us, and they will be giving you free samples, but you can buy a glass of wine or a bottle from them. So we're going to be doing that. We'll have snacks. We're having a Lego table, possibility of a face painter. I'm in conversation with that person. You'll have a chance to vote for, I guess it's the first 4 or 5 best pictures. We're still working that out. And there are entry forms that are available online, and I've already had one person do that. And then there are entry forms up at City Hall, that red box in the lobby. You can fill that out, and I pick them up every so often. And so far, I have, from the art school, 30 signups, and each of them have at least 2 pieces of art, and probably more that they're entering. So, looks like it's gonna be good. I hope it's as good as last year. And I'm leaving some flyers on the table over there. Take it home and put it on your computer screen or your bathroom mirror or wherever it is that you would remember it. And please join us, because last year it was such a great community time, and we want you to join us again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Pat, it's your turn.
Good evening. I'm Pat Clune. I live at 4 Roy Bean Drive. Been here since '96. So tonight I want to talk about the home rule. The home rule proposed change to our local government is an interesting attempt to change the center of power in our city.
Sir, we cannot really discuss home rule at this meeting. We are not allowed to promote it one way or the other.
I'm not
But if you would like to
suggesting
express
anything
your
about
opinion,
that.
there is going to be a meeting on the 20th where it's going to be open to the public.
Is this not open to the public, sir?
It is open to the public, but we can't discuss the home rule. If you want to, you understand?
No, I do not. Mr. Potts,
By law, it is not on our agenda, and if it's not on our agenda, we
I'm just
cannot
making
discuss it.
a statement about the condition of what's going on.
If you just want to give a statement, you're good. I just wanted you to be aware. You can make a statement.
Okay, that's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Can I proceed? Mm-hmm. Okay. Currently, we're governed under the general law, the form of government that Texas mandates for all cities with less than 5,000 citizens, residents. After that number of residents, the home rule type of government can be voted in. The first problem I see is that the city does not meet the number of residents needed to consider this change. As of the 2020 U.S. Census, the number of residents in the city is 4,636. How can we vote for a change when we do not meet the basic population requirement? Is there a law, a ruling, an opinion that allows the city to estimate the number of residents, or is the census data a hard number? Mr. Potts, you're the legal advisor for the city. Do you know that if this proposed change is even legal? Can someone in the city management simply decide that we're close enough? Or do we have to wait until we meet the most basic legal requirement for the number of residents as prescribed by the Texas legislature? Secondly, what is the point of the change to home rule? We are now governed by a city council of 5 elected representatives plus an elected mayor who answers to the voters every 2 years. The council hires a city manager to oversee the management of the city under the supervision of the council. The city manager works for the council as a non-elected bureaucrat whose job is to run the city as directed by the city council and, of course, any applicable state laws. This is the most important point. The center of power of our city government rests with the city council. With a home rule government, the city manager is given wide powers to run the city with the help of the mayor. The list of duties of the city manager is truly amazing, and the governing ability of the city council is reduced to mere oversight and not much of that. The power of the government would now rest with the city employee, the city manager, and not with the elected representatives of the voters. Do we really want to hand over the power to a hired employee, this power to do so much of what happens into our city, or do we want to continue to have the power to decide our future through our elected representatives on the city council? As you think about this proposed change in the center of power for the city, there's a couple of well-worn quotes from history. Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Another, if you want to understand why something happened, follow the money, or in this case, follow the power. And finally, as our former First Lady Barbara Bush famously said, just say no. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for the comments. We appreciate that. We're moving right along. We have our consent agenda, which has to do with the minutes and the final budget. Y'all want to vote on it separately or as a together? I'd like to have a motion one way or the other.
I'll make the motion that we accept it as a consent agenda,
Is what?
as a consent agenda.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Second, Bruce. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, planning and zoning, report. Vicki, you're back up again. Can y'all hear us? Are we okay yet, or? I'll remind the council to please speak up so we can, they can hear us.
All right, hi, I'm Becky Cooley. I am the chairman for planning and zoning. This will be a lot more relaxed than last time. That was my first time. I was a little nervous. So we have a new applicant for P and Z. We have voted unanimously to move that forward to y'all. That is on your agenda for tonight. His name is Eric Seeliger. Did I say that correctly? Seeliger. We also met with Rodney Garcia at Seventh Day Adventist Church about his sign that he's wanting installed. We had already had a sign ordinance on the agenda to discuss, so we went ahead and approved the design. We also discussed the sign ordinance, and city staff is currently working on that. We also discussed a garbage enclosure for commercial containers. City staff is working on that. And we tabled an accessory building ordinance discussion. That's all.
That's it?
That's
Well,
it.
Anybody have questions? Council?
I just wanted to ask something. I know it's appeared off and on out of the agenda, but I know there was going to be an ordinance written in regards to accessory buildings on properties that were like a certain amount of acreage, because we wanted to cut, from residential to having acreage on your property is a big difference to follow that type of an ordinance for people with acreage. So have y'all gotten back to that, or do you have plans to get back to checking into that, Becky?
So that's the estate residential. We are still looking at it. It's still on our agenda. We're still looking at it, but we don't have answers yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a little bit of turnover, on the P and Z, so we kind of wanted to get everybody back up to speed on it and then kind of dive into it, so. Little progress, but it's going well.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Okay, next on the item 4, Resolution 2022-24.24, appointment to planning and zoning. As Becky just mentioned, the gentleman wants to join our planning and zoning committee, and his name Eric Siegler. Is that right? Am I pronouncing that close?
Is he here? Seeliger.
Not here.
Okay.
I can read the resolution, or we can go ahead and approve it one way or the other, whatever you want to do.
No, I think that that's who their nomination is, and they're very happy with him, and I know they do interviews, and CU has a passion for the committee, so I would like to move to adopt Resolution 2022-24, appointing Eric Seeliger as a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Charles seconded it. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 5, Resolution 2022.25, selection of official newspaper. Every year, we select a newspaper to which publishes all of our required publications and statements and resolutions and laws that need to be followed by law. Do I hear a discussion on 2022-25?
I don't think we've had any problems with the Belton Journal, have we? I think they've done a fine job.
No, they've been our paper of record for numerous years.
Yeah, yeah.
And they
Do
do
I
a
hear-
good job and not sensationalize anything, or very
one-
positive press.
Do I hear a motion to accept the Belton Journal as the paper of record?
I make a motion.
Okay, and second?
Second.
Okay, plenty of seconds. Evidently no discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving right along. Wow,
Quickly moving along.
man. Okay, discuss, consider EDC, that's Economic Development Corporation. We've got 3 items here, correction of articles of organization, selection of independent CPA accounting firm, and update by law 9.04. I think we need to look at these separately. Is that correct, Dalton? That's probably the way to do it?
Yes, sir.
So, who wants to take it from there? Anybody on EDC here? You want to do the correction, tell us about the correction articles? Linda, you,
My name's Linda Bridges, and I'm the new president of EDC. So one of the things that we'd like to change, when we found out that our bylaws said that you had to be a resident of City of Morgan's Point to be on the EDC, but we checked back with the Texas code, and it's broader. It's a county resident and adjacent counties and that type of thing. So we just wanted to make a correction, and I just use the same language that's in the Texas code. So that's
everybody
that one.
understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we're gonna vote on that separately, okay? Anybody have discussion, or when that is done, I'd like to hear a motion to accept that correction to the articles of organization, where you do not have to be a resident. Do I hear a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion, we accept that.
And a second? I'll second. And Bruce second. Any further discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passed unanimously. Okay, next one about the, your CPA firm. You want to do that one too?
Yes, so per our current bylaws, one of the things is we have to have the city council approve our choice of CPA. So that's basically what
And
this
who is that? Who did you,
What's that?
and who did you choose?
The firm is Coggins out of Houston. Actually, they're in San Antonio, Houston, and Austin, and Dallas. So it's around the area. But we found one that was very knowledgeable in EDCs. So, Yes.
And I guess that probably answers my question then, is why you didn't use a local CPA. We have so many in our local area.
well, I could answer that, or Debbie can. She contacted 11 CPAs locally. She got turned down, 10 times?
10 no's, the 11th one was yes, we'll do it.
But $6,500 per year to do an audit for our EDC, which we have minimal accounting. So from some advice from Kerry, he said, why don't you look for someone who will do the 3 audits that we're behind as one? It'll be separate, but he's pricing it out as one, and that's what this firm will do for us.
Okay.
So
Very
it's all
good.
based on
That's great. I'm glad you gave it some study. That's good. That's
based
good.
on money. So, and we also had gone and checked it, and actually, we got a price from our local guy to go down to a review, to see if we could have a review. So we went from $6,500 to $5,700 to do a review per year. So then we go, okay, this is still not gonna work. So Carrie said, why don't you just check into this compilation of financial statements? So that's basically leads into the bylaw change.
Believe me, I was on the EDC for 11 years. There is minimal transactions.
Right.
That transpired.
Yeah, I was just going to make one point. I know and understand, the compilation, it's a very simple accounting process. There's no tests, there's no.
Right.
It's just simply compiling your figures.
Right.
And I think that's fine for EDC, and talking with your awesome accountant there, Debbie, that does all y'all's books and does an excellent job. She felt that was more than adequate to handle your finances. My only question is, do you think when you have, say, like capital projects or a big grant, you think we could step it up maybe to a review, just so there's a little testing?
Well, actually, I did some research on that as well. And looking at trying to figure out, even the federal government acknowledges that small nonprofits are suffering from the cost of audits. So they have single audits. So yeah, so if we go in to get a grant, they will probably require something like that.
They'll require
Or if
more
we-
of a review.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's just what I was going to suggest is, for your bylaws, I think it's great that you're doing the computation, and that seems very good for what your needs are. But if I could suggest, when you do have a capital replacement or you're doing grants, let's step it up to review, unless they require an audit, but they may accept a review, but.
Right, and that might be something if we go out for a loan, which I know the bank loan that they had for the park did not require one.
Yes.
So,
And checking with Debbie, she said she didn't think the state on that grant required one.
right, either one,
Yeah,
either one.
But you may want to keep that in mind, because if they would come back and
Right.
ask about it.
And I think it would all be, if we up and we start, building skyscrapers, type of thing.
Yeah, it's
you know,
usually
we've gotta change.
$750,000.
I'm not looking at skyscrapers, honey. We're just talking capital stuff.
Yeah, it's usually the single audit's like 750,000 over or something like that. Once they get caught up, and Carrie and I, chatted with them. Once they get caught up on this, even on the statements, then we can do a combined letter of engagement with council and the EDC and tie it under the council's audits. But because we're behind, because they're behind, getting them up, getting us up, and then we can start looking at doing a combined letter of engagement.
Yes.
So.
Well, thank you for you and Debbie's work on getting this together.
Thank you, Linda. Do I hear a motion to accept their due?
I'll move we accept the CPA firm and their process that they're
And
doing.
do I hear a second?
A second.
Okay, been motion, second. All in favor? Any further discussion, I should say? Okay, all in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, and one more, on the EDC, the bylaw 9.04 resolution, I guess is a update to the 2022.26. You want to take that one too?
Right, so currently the bylaws state that we will have an annual audit. And so with this in mind and the cost, we looked at what might be acceptable between the type of business that we have. And so we've changed from doing quarterly meetings to monthly meetings, of which will include a financial statement and a copy of our bank statement that goes out to the mayor and to the city. So it won't be like a 3-month delay to find out what's going on, so the city will have knowledge of what's happening on a monthly basis.
Okay,
So that's kind of one of the things to go to a financial compilation.
do I hear a motion we accept that due resolution?
I'll make a motion, we accept the resolution on the change of bylaw 9.04.
Okay, thank you, Larry. And a second, Sean. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Wow, this is going quick.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
doing it, Linda.
okay, Donna, do you have any, we're going down to
Oh, sure.
comments from city council and?
Sure, I'd be happy to. This is a report that Karen Steigner gave me from the Ladies Auxiliary, their October report. They've given out 80 welcome bags already, so I think that's great. We have 80 new residents that they've given them to. And they'll continue to hang out these welcome bags at any upcoming events. They're there and handing out the bags. They'll start assembly of another 100 bags, and all businesses are welcome to contribute to the bags. NPR Active Fire Training Rehab was September 17th, and the auxiliary prepared lunch for them, which I'm sure they enjoyed that. They did the Senior Expo on the 27th of September, and it was a great event representing us in Mortgage Point and the auxiliary. They're looking into pet stickers, and these will be put out on people's houses to identify that a pet lives in the home, for the firefighters. I think that's such a great idea. National Night Out, as y'all mentioned, it was a great success. Fun times. They gave out 14 new bags there, and it was a wonderful event. We saw old friends, new friends, made friends, visited with all the firefighters and police officers, and the cops group and the auxiliary and all of our emergency services. They did a wonderful job for us, so we really appreciate all of them. They're going to participate in October 31st. Looks like we're going to have 2 big Halloween parties, huh? That'll be fun for the kids. And that's going to be right on Halloween night, and that's on the 31st on a Monday. And then Shauna Scheibel is going to do the contest. They're going to do a pet costume contest. That should be interesting. or who knows. And BJ's coordinating getting outside games. The Ladies Auxiliary and the Boy Scouts are going to help out with this event. So we all look forward to both of these events. Their pre-bake giving sale, and this is great. Like I said, you got to get there early to get the goodies because they go fast. And they've moved it to the 19th because the event center was booked. So they're going to move it to City Hall and have it there. So they'll just keep it right on the boulevard so you don't have to go down further. November meeting has been rescheduled to November 17th. The VFA Santa Pal program, they're going to start working on that in November. And the Valentine's Ball update, their 9th year, they're going to have the Billy Hope Band, which is awesome. They're at almost all, I think they've been at all of them, if I remember. It's going to be on February 11th at the Hilton Garden Inn. And if you haven't attended, it is a wonderful event, great date night, or bring your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, a friend. It's a great time. They have a website, and you can get on that website, and it's really, that whoever designed it did a really good job. But do we know who designed it? But anyway, Rebecca Hutton, she did a great job. And you can sponsor a table, a firefighter, contribute a basket. Anyway, a wonderful, great fundraising event for our fire department. And once again, on behalf of the members and supporters of the auxiliary, they want to thank everyone for your continued support. We can't do this without you. And that's from Karen Steigner, the president of it.
Lynn, go ahead.
Okay. This year, for the barbecue cook-off, we have decided to have an emergency services category. And it's just between firefighters and police officers. I went out to every house in Temple, Belton, Harker Heights, Nolanville, and then they hit up Moffett, Gerald, Georgetown, Salado. We've invited all of the services. We've got this very cool, we've already got the firefighters from here. They've already turned in their application. But it's gonna be cops versus the firefighters and see who wins bragging rights.
Oh, dear.
Whoever wins, they'll get entry free. And we have this awesome, I swear it's cool, this awesome trophy that we're gonna pass back and forth for bragging rights, and we'll add, well, it's got little plates on it already, so we'll say Morgan Point Police or whomever. And yearly, it'll change, kinda like the trophy for Wimbledon or whatever. And
Very similar, I'm
very
sure. Very similar.
The
Yeah.
queen will be passing it out. But it's so cool, and it'll be passed back and forth, and so that's just strictly them. So, you know, a lot of those barbecue cook-off people, they're like pros. And
That's the reason we need first responders there.
it's just for first responders, exactly. And so that's gonna be so
That's gonna be
cool. So
fun,
that's another
yeah.
reason y'all should come out to the barbecue cook-off.
That's fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. Appreciate it. Bruce, you have anything to add?
No, I'm good, just,
Robbie?
great to see everybody here.
Yeah, as always, thanks for everybody coming out this evening, and thank you very much to our volunteers that make all these events a success. Appreciate it.
Larry?
Thank everybody for coming, we'll see y'all for the cook-off.
Sean?
We'll see you at the cook-off.
We had a couple of us go this last week to Texas Municipal League. It was in San Antonio, held there in San Antonio, had a big turnout. Got an opportunity to meet a lot of people and to see a lot of vendors and learn a lot of things, so it was very informative. City manager went, we had some of our staff go, Larry went, Sean went. We had a good turnout on the council. And one other thing I was gonna mention, since we have the election next, in November on the 8th, which normally is our meeting night on the second Tuesday of the month, that's gonna be pushed off to the following week, which would put us on, what, the 15th?
15th.
Put us on the 15th. So the reason I'm telling you is because you're the ones that show up to our meetings. So anyway, you can show up that Tuesday and vote, but then come back the following Tuesday and visit with us. Also, be sure that barbecue cook-off this weekend, that's gonna be a biggie. So hope to see everybody there plus. Dalton?
Y'all only-
You got some things you wanna tell us?
Yeah,
so I'll
y'all
let you
only
tell
thought
that.
y'all were getting out early. No, should be pretty quick. First, actually here, I'm gonna put Becky Cooley back on the spot to talk about steering committee real quick, just update stuff.
I'm
Thank you,
still Becky
Becky.
Cooley.
I wondered if you were going to do that one.
It wasn't on the agenda. So I am the chairperson for the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. We met last month on September 20th. We discussed some more definitions, in-depth definitions of what each element on our survey is going to cover in the survey sections. That will be coming out soon. We are reviewing a rough draft at this moment. And we will have 2 community workshops coming up. The first one will be here in the Event Center on October 27th from 4:30 to 7:30. That's more come and go, see what's going on. And then on Saturday morning, October 29th, 9:30 to noon at Fellowship Baptist Church is going to be an actual workshop to where you can come, sit down, be in groups, discuss things, learn more in depth, voice all of your opinions about what you want to see done or not done. And then our next meeting will be October 20th over at City Hall. That's all.
Sweet. Appreciate it, Chairman Becky. Thank you, Chairperson Becky. So also too, you know, speaking of, Becky and Jimbo, I believe, and I'm gonna miss out on a lot of stuff. They talked a lot about the officers and everything they did, fire department and everything that they did, but they were the ones that really spearheaded getting that event set up and working with the auxiliary, working with the cops. So thank you, Becky and Jimbo, both chairpersons back there, for setting up a great event for the community. Since y'all didn't get the recognition on that one. Maintenance department, got to give them a round of applause as well. They did a lot of stuffing of the charter into envelopes. I think they finally figured out what paper cuts are, and they would rather be out in the field. But Ophelia and the staff last week and the team last week really appreciated them helping out. So, definitely want to give them a round of applause for helping out with that. Definitely out of their comfort zone. I taped up a brochure, a draft brochure for waste management over by the sign-in sheet, and then there's a couple floating around that council has. This is literally hot off the press. I got this right before we came out here, so it is not perfect, and the city manager printed it, so it's all backwards, so just don't worry about that. But just check the content. If there's anything that y'all kind of see that's out of place, we should be having these go out here very quickly. November 8th is kind of our date to start, and again, more to follow on this process, but we will be blasting this stuff out very quickly. November, correct. And so these brochures are gonna go, the brochures that are gonna go out, and again, there's a draft over there by there. Y'all can take pictures and take a look. Again, just a draft. There probably is errors on there. I've already found a couple. So once we get the full one out, those will come with the cans and more information. Again, we're not gonna leave y'all in the dark on this. It's gonna be a process, so please be patient with us.
So is that a pretty hard date?
November 8th is gonna be the hard date. Yes, sir. Yes. And so we'll once we start getting some more information, we'll start blasting this stuff out on every site that we have. So did that. So TCEQ, one of the things that we've been, Catrice, Ophelia, and really the team, both water, everybody have been diligently working on is making sure, of course, we stay in compliance. TCEQ is the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. So this is one of the things that we got to read from them, Adopt a Street program. I will say this unofficially, I think we already do this wonderfully. This is just unfortunately something that we have to read to have in the minutes for it. But every time I'm driving around and I stop and see people all the time picking up trash, on their walks. So our community breeds this already. So this is really a formality that we need with TCEQ. Adopt a Street is a voluntary effort by all citizens of Morgan's Point Resort to improve and maintain the appearance of our neighborhoods by the elimination of litter from our streets and roadways. The key to the success of the valuable effort is individual dedication to keep an adopted area or street litter-free. There is no formal structure, organization, or permit required. Just look around your neighborhood, decide what you think you can handle, then hit the road. As a suggestion, plastic grocery bags are readily available and provide a convenient, cost-free method of collecting and disposing litter. Once your adopted area is cleaned up, it usually requires minimal effort to maintain. Other regarding aspects of this important activity include increased pride in your neighborhood, thanks from your neighbors, exercise, friendly conversations along the way, and a sense of community. Your clean, neat neighborhood will discourage littering and set a good environmental example for others, particularly our young people. And you likely could be helping a neighbor or friend who may be unable to contribute their effort. So again, formality, I think this community does a wonderful job at that. Let's see, what else? Library already did theirs. I got Read the Riot Act by Jim Ann, so make sure that on the bake sale, y'all take care of the library. I vouch for y'all. And outside of that, I think that's all I have.
I wondered. I couldn't believe when they said, library. I was like, oh
it was-
my
it
gosh,
was- it
Jim
was-
Ann is letting us use the library for food?
It was-
That's never happened.
It was a hug. Yeah. I got Read the Riot Act, but we're good. So
Okay. You
One
sure? You're sure, Dalton?
Yes.
This could be big trouble.
Oh, I know. She'll take it out on me.
One
Okay.
other thing I'd like to mention, that on October the 20th, here at the Event Center, we're gonna have Meet the Candidates, and we're also gonna have a open house on home rule. So if you have any questions, or if you wanted to meet the potential candidates, please be here. I think it's 5:30 to 6:30 on Meet the Candidates, is that correct?
6:30 to 7.
6:37, okay, and then meeting afterwards, so. Anyway, that's on the 20th of October.
And it will be live streamed.
Okay, and it will be live streamed. Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
One thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On this trash pickup, or
I thought you were going to say all this trash.
changing over to the carts,
Yes.
okay? Which I understand everybody's gonna get a 96-gallon cart. My question is there any provisions, or what can a citizen do to get rid of their existing trash?
So it is in the brochure. I don't remember the dates. Don't quote me on it. I don't have it in front of me. But somewhere, I think on the top left, there's a date on there that shows when the new carts will be active, and then a pickup date for the existing carts, if you want to get rid of them, and the process for third bold down old waste containers. Waste Management will collect any old, unwanted customer-owned waste containers November 15th through 18th. Place containers at the curb with a note taped on the container that states, "Trash, please take."
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, if there's anything confusing, we'll start reading through it and make sure that we, especially the important ones. We want to add something on cul-de-sacs and dead ends. The great thing about this, for those, as a reminder, Waste Management pretty much killed the Evergreen contract that we've had for 35 years, so it was forced. We didn't necessarily look at other options because of the health. The procurement law states that you can go with whatever we want ultimately. We kind of took the initial proposal from Waste Management. I projected it to be about $22 to $23. Nolanville is sitting at, I think, $22 per month. And it came in at 16, which was about a 39-cent increase from what we're currently doing. So we thought about it. We considered it. We were not going. My experience in the trash business, we weren't going to beat that. So that was council ultimately made that decision on there. So we wanted to just clarify that. But yeah, we'll get this out and start blasting all the information. Any questions, of course, you can call City Hall. We'll have it posted everywhere.
And plus, their service has been known to us for years and years and
Correct.
years, and they're
They
tried
know-
and
they
true,
know our
so
routes, they know
the
everything,
routes, they
so-
know our streets, they know us citizens personally. I've just got two questions,
Yes, ma'am.
just for, if you could give me an update. One, the water storage, I know we were gonna go out with bids, and when will those be in?
They will be, so we have bid opening this Friday, actually, the 14th. So
Is
it'll-
when it opens?
No, that's when we open the competitive seal bid. So
Okay.
the pre-bid meeting already happened.
Okay.
And the bid opening for competitive seal bids will be on the 14th. So we should have an idea this Friday evening as far as kind of what we're looking at as far as bids.
Okay.
Knock on wood, it's promising. We did some things differently on this one. Really an update on the generator. So the generator that we did for Senate Bill 3 requirement on the pump house down there, at the Morgan's Point Road pump house. We broke it into two phases. We knew it was going to take 18 months, roughly, give or take, because of supply chain issues. So we went ahead and issued one notice to proceed. They finished the groundwork and the flat work and the conduit work, all the electrical, pretty much capped everything. Once we get wind that the generator is about 30 days out, we'll issue the second notice to proceed, and then they'll be on another deadline for that. We're kind of looking similar to get creative on the water storage tank as well. So knock on wood, we should hopefully have some good bids. I've gotten a call from some local folks, which typically don't take small projects like this. So the Fed rate going up, I think, is going to be a good thing for small projects like ours.
Okay, good.
So-
And leading into that, because I know we have that American Fund Relief money, so I had mentioned before budget, once we got past budget, if we could have an agenda item or meet on grants we're presently applying for, and kind of updates, so could we put that on a next agenda?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Thank
So
you.
we were working on it this one. I was hoping to get it on this one. It got delayed. One of the things too that I think would be great for another is do like maybe an early December workshop. When things kind of get into holiday mode, and we can kind of talk infrastructure, capital improvement project, initial planning, fixed asset replacement fund planning, and really start preparing for the future on what we're kind of looking at. ARPA funding, the whole shebang. So, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Dalton did a great job on negotiating with Waste Management, and we appreciate it, Dalton. Thank you. It's,
Yes, sir.
It wasn't just a thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am type deal. Do I hear a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Folks, thank y'all for being here. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all hopefully see y'all soon. Barbecue cook-off this weekend.